All right, Rob, gonna start with you. Is this an overreaction when we hear from Hijapiro, who says Wolverine's death in Logan was way more emotional than Tony Stark's death in Endgame?
I think that is an overreaction, and I'll tell you why. For me, at least, it's seeing how other people react to death that really gets me. I mean, of course, when a character dies, usually there's nobility in it. I feel sad, but there's also something, I don't know, they've usually triumphed. But the end of Endgame, watching that one shot where the camera was panning by everybody's face, at the funeral, that got to me. The same way that, look, when Spock died in Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, I was a mess, but I didn't start blubbering until Kirk said, of all the souls I've encountered in my travels, his was the most human. Now, Wolverine, when he died, I thought he was in pain the whole movie, and he achieved greatness, and he was released from his mortal coil and his pain. And in a way, I didn't feel sorry for him. I felt sorry we're not going to see the character again, but I knew he was going to come back at some point. So I was more affected. I think it's an overreaction. But you know what, John? That's for me. Someone else might have really been affected by the death of Logan more so than I was. So I can say it was an overreaction for me. But I don't want to tell anybody else how they should feel.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's not an overreaction. And here's why, because of specifically something you just brought up, Rob. Really, the emotional impact of the death of certain characters in movies doesn't come from the characters themselves dying, but those other characters around them that are feeling the impact, right? When Tony dies in Endgame, the person there with him that's supposed to be that emotional anchor for us is Pepper. Pepper, who hardly had any presence in the MCU for many years. Pepper hasn't had a real strong presence in the MCU for a long time. We all know the story of Tony and Pepper, sure. But she kind of slips in there and says, it's okay, you can rest now. And that had impact. And it did. It had impact. It did. But with Logan, you're right. First of all, the movie itself sets up the fact that he was been just in pain. We've traveled with Hugh Jackman as that character for several decades, as a character who is tortured and tormented and suffered loss and whatever. And then to be there for his dying is this little girl who's come to see him as a father, who genetically in many ways kind of is, in a way, from a certain point of view, her father, and the one she's come to rely on, the only person she's ever now trusted, and he dies, leaving her on her own. And I think because of all those elements, I'm going to say it's not an overreaction. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.